Good evening, brothers. Stop watching porn. I'm not going to yell that. I'm inside of a house. There are people in this house. Not going to yell, stop watching porn. Maybe I will later. We'll see. I'm going to talk for a minute about temptation and how to view temptation. Most folks, by default, they tend to see temptation as a problem because it is something that is difficult. It's something that it feels like it's in our way. It feels like it causes us to do things that we don't want to do or that conflict with our values or our desired lifestyle. And temptation just seems to be a problem. That's kind of the default way of viewing it. I don't believe that temptation is a problem. And I actually tweeted about this recently, and it was fairly popular from my tweets anyway. And I said that I see temptation as an opportunity, not as a problem. And that's because anytime you're tempted, that is an opportunity to obey God. And that's important for one particular reason that we're going to talk about today. And that's because obeying God in the face of temptation is a opportunity to express your love for God. It's a means of expressing your love for God through your obedience. To back this up and let you know that I'm not just pulling this out of, should I say ass on this channel? I'm not sure. So I'm not pulling it out of thin air. Here we go, John 14, the words of Jesus Christ. In verse 15, he says, "If you really love me, you will keep or obey my commands." I'm using the Amplified Bible here. There's a user in the Discord, been in there for a while, named Protein Stack, and he kind of, I think, inadvertently got me interested in the Amplified Bible by posting scripture regularly there from the Amplified. I find it very, very interesting, very in-depth. But anyway, that's what I'm using right now. John 14, verse 15. "If you really love me, you will keep or obey my commands." All right? And this isn't just like a one-off thing, because Jesus goes on to say later, he says this thing basically 3 times in this, at least just me glancing through it. You might even say it more, but these are the 3 that caught my eye here. Again, in verse 21, he says, "The person who has my commands and keeps them is the one who really loves me, and whoever really loves me will be loved by my Father, and I too will love him and will show, reveal, or manifest myself to him. I will let myself be clearly seen by him and make myself real to him." And again, in verse 23, Jesus answered, "If a person really loves me, he will keep my word, obey my teaching, and my Father will love him, and we will come to him and make our home, abode, special dwelling place with him." Okay, so 3 times just there, Jesus talking about obedience and loving him. And this is why I say temptation isn't a problem at all. It is an opportunity to love God by obeying him. And you might wonder, oh, well, okay, sure, but can't we obey God anyway? Maybe, without temptation, can you obey God? I mean, I guess in a sense, in my mind, this is how I see it. There's no real obedience without a choice. Okay? Does that make sense? And there's no real meaningful choice unless there is a temptation to choose something else, to choose wrongly. There's no real choice to obey God if there's nothing else that you would choose opposed to that. Is that really a choice? And if there's not a real choice, is that really meaningful obedience? And that's why I say I don't really believe it is. I don't really believe it is meaningful. It doesn't mean anything to us if a machine does what it's programmed to do. And in the same way, I don't think it means anything if a human obeys God without any temptation to do otherwise. And perhaps that's the reason that there was a temptation in the first place. Maybe that's the reason that there even was a tree of the knowledge of good and evil for that Adam and Eve were, tempted to eat. And so that's my viewpoint on this. And I think that that's a really powerful viewpoint to have, because you're not seeing this as some affliction. You're not seeing this temptation as something that is just in the way of you living the way that God has designed you to live. Sin, absolutely. Sin absolutely is an obstruction. It's evil. It's rotten. It needs to be out of your life. And thankfully, Jesus Christ has done some fantastic work to that end. But as far as temptation in your life, temptation is always going to be there. It's not just going to go away, okay? It's something that you're going to have to deal with. And I don't think that it's meant to be viewed as this huge interruption to life, as this problem. I think it is meant to be seen as an opportunity, okay? It's a chance to express your love for God by obeying Him, by placing His will above your own, by, through your actions, your words, your thoughts, proving and showing that commitment and that devotion that you have towards Him. All right? That's it. Temptation, don't see it as so much of a problem. See it as an opportunity. And when temptation comes, think about it. Think about the words of Jesus there in John 14. You love God. You show your love to God by obeying Him. Okay? And yes, obeying Him is difficult sometimes. But, in a lot of cases, we show our love to people by doing difficult things, by doing costly things. Whether it's by taking a lot of time out of our day, by, expending money on gifts for them, by, stretching ourselves out of our comfort zone to do something that they need done, or to tell them something that they need to hear, whatever it may be. These are all ways that we love people, and if our love is intense, then we like these opportunities. We enjoy these opportunities to some extent, and it should be the same way with God. A temptation, I'm not saying a temptation is this wonderful thing that you should just enjoy every moment of, and yes, I just love being tempted, but do see it as an opportunity to show your love to God. It's not this big problem, okay? That's it. Y'all have a good day. God bless you guys. This is an interesting topic, so in the comments, we can talk about it in the Discord group for sure. If you would like to talk about this, discuss this, it'll be in there. There's a link in the description to Discord, to Gab, Twitter, and as well as my website, virtueandfaith.com. But that really is it. Y'all have a lovely day. God bless you guys. Take it easy, but not too easy, and I will talk to you later.